Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday, September 18th. I'm just getting back from Aruba late last night, and I said, how about I get on YouTube and discuss this topic while my kids aren't here. They're at my cousin's house, and they're gonna stay there until a little bit later today. I thought now would be a good time since you guys won't have to hear my son running around in the background. So this topic, before we get started, could you please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who may be interested? Okay, so let's dive right in. I began my home buying process in 2021. So I'm going to be looking down. The reason why I'm going to be looking down is because I kind of have like a notebook, a page full of things that I wanted to make sure I hit on in this video. So that I don't forget anything. All right. I started the home process in 2021, but let me back up a little bit. So, I moved to Far Rockaway, Queens in 2015. Okay, so I moved there in 2015. Me and my daughter lived there for 5 years. Prior to that, I was in a family shelter with my daughter. Okay, so I got out of the shelter. I moved into my apartment. In the beginning, I had rental assistance. So my apartment was, at the time, 2015, it was maybe 1,400 something, somewhere in those, maybe between the $1,300 and $1,400 mark. So that's how much the apartment was. I was a home health aide at the time, and the apartment, I had a rental subsidy, and then I had a little portion. My portion was maybe $200, so it was nothing. While it was nothing, $200 is a lot of money for a home health aide to have to pay for rent when you have kids and you have to, make your schedule around their schedule. Is only but so many hours you can work because you don't really have a sitter. Meanwhile, my son's father, I got with him in 2013, right? So I got with him in 2013, and like shortly after, I went to a shelter. To be honest, I was dishonest with him. I didn't tell him what was really going on with me because I was ashamed, I was embarrassed, and I didn't want him to leave. So I just like kind of lied to him about not lied, he knew where I was living, but he didn't know the ins and outs of like, the shelter system and stuff like that. He didn't really know exactly what was going on with me. So kept it a secret. After a while, he realized what was going on, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, why wouldn't you tell me something like that? And I'm just like, because I just wanted to do this on my own. I didn't want to really involve you, blah, 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 blah. He's like, well, we could have worked something out, but I'm just like, whatever. So I was there for maybe a year I was in the shelter from 2014 to 2015. Got my apartment, boom. Okay, now things are starting to rock and roll a little bit because now I'm out of the shelter. I'm in my own space. I'm in my own apartment. So I'm in my own apartment, and from 2015 to, I stayed there from 2015 to 2021. 2019, 2018, I graduated from nursing school. He helped put me through nursing school, helped me, pay for it and all those kinds of things because I didn't have no type of assistance. So he helped me pay for it. I got through nursing school. 2018, I graduate, boom. All right, now things is really starting to pick up. I began working. I'm starting to make really good money, and I'm just like, all right. So 2019, we get pregnant with my son, Cairo. Okay, so now remind you, I'm in this apartment. This is a small apartment. It was originally meant for me and Kira. So, all right, he's like, well, this is his first child. So he's like, well, I'm gonna come stay with you. So I'm like, okay. I'm nervous because I'm like, he's gonna come stay with me. Shit. This apartment is small, so we gotta do something, give Kira her own little space. We'll have our own little space, and Kyra will be here soon. We gotta make it work. And, if you guys know anything about me, I'm known for just making things work, and that's it. Wherever my family is, it's home, and we're gonna make it work. That's just always been me. So, okay, Kyra was born now. Kyra was born in March of 2020. Now, from March of 2020 to January of 2021, it was a crucial time for me because I'm like going crazy in my head. We're both working. Well, I'm working part-time because I'm more home with the baby. He's working full-time. Kira's in remote learning because this is during the pandemic. It was just a lot. And I'm just going freaking batshit crazy. And I'm just like, we need to get the hell up out of here. Now, my fiance, he is a person who has to think things thoroughly through, or his ducks have to be in a row. He ain't making no moves until he's thought about this thing 1,000 times. Not me. I'm a Sagittarius. And if you know anything about Sagittarius people, we are very impulsive. We see something, we like it, we go for it. Period. That's just it. So I go to him one day and I'm like, babe, let's start the process of buying a house, because at this point we need a 3-bedroom because Cairo and his belongings took up our whole apartment. So I'm just like, at this point we need a 3-bedroom house, because in New York City, the price that you would pay for a 3-bedroom apartment, you can be paying a mortgage. That's just what it is. Like, our apartments here are very expensive. So I'm like, we need a 3-bedroom house. He's like, okay, but are you sure that we're ready? Are you sure that we can jump from doing the apartment straight to the house? And I'm like, yeah. In my mind, I'm like, maybe not. But in my mouth, I'm saying, yeah. Not because of the money, not because we wasn't making decent money. It was more along the lines of fear of the unknown. So I'm like, all right, we're just gonna do this. We're gonna go ahead and do this. So I reached out to my friend. I have a very good friend who was also I have 2 good friends that were in the process of buying their homes. So I reached out to them like, girls, we're ready to buy our home. What's the process like? What should I do? So they're giving me, basically they told me the same information. So one of my friends, I've known her for a very long time, since I was a teenager, and she was like, reach out to my realtor. She'll get it done for you. She'll tell you exactly what you need, and you guys could get it done. So I'm like, all right. I reached out to her realtor. Her realtor is a female, Christina Peoples. I reached out to her. I told her, like, basically gave her our situation, told her what was going on. And she's like, for sure, reach out to this guy. He's my preferred lender. He'll give you what it is you need. He'll tell you what you need to do. He'll tell you if you're ready. He'll tell you if your finances are in order. He'll tell you everything. Just reach out to him. Let him guide you step by step on what you need to give him in order to get the process rolling. Okay, so I contacted the mortgage loan officer, and he gave me a list of documents that I needed in order to get my pre-approval. I immediately, like, when he told me like what was needed, I immediately was like, damn, like, this is a lot of stuff. And then sometimes when things seem hard, we think that we can't do it. Or if it seems like it's too much, it's like, shit, like I'll do it at another time. Like, I don't got time for all of that. I don't got time to be looking for all these papers and blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's not meant for me. That's how our minds tend to work at times. At least mine does. I don't know about everybody else, but at least for me, that's how it works. So what we needed was, at the time, we needed like 2 years worth of W-2 forms, 2 months worth of bank statements each, and pay stubs, current pay stubs. Like I think it was like the last month worth of pay stubs. At the time, I was getting paid weekly, and so was he. So that was 8 pay stubs in total I needed. It was very easy to get these things. I just printed them out from offline because both of our jobs, we can go online and print them and have access to these things. To be honest, once again, when I gathered all the documents and I looked at everything, I didn't think we were going to I didn't think we were going to be eligible for a pre-approval. Not really because we didn't have the income, but mainly because for me, number one, I have $62,000 or is it 62 or 67? Don't know, out in student loans. So I'm like, damn, I'm going to be the one to make us not get it. Like, I jumped into this and now I'm going to be the one to make us not get it. So I immediately started to feel bad. I even cried. I'm like, oh my God. And then Rose going to be like, I told you, babe, maybe we should wait. Maybe we should pay down these student loans, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm going to do it. I'm going to just give him the documents. The worst he could say is no. If he says no, then we'll work on paying on my student loans, and then we'll try again when, we're in a better space regarding my student loans. So it was the student loans. And then I also started to think like, what makes you think you deserve this? You don't come from a line of people who own homes. I mean, granted, I personally did grow up with my aunt, and she was a homeowner, but it's not many people around me that I see that have homes. So in my mind, I'm like, how are you going to even do this? What makes you feel like you even deserve this? I know it's bad thinking and it's a lot of self-sabotaging, but it's honestly what I was thinking at that moment. This was like over a year ago, almost 2 years ago now, and I don't think like that anymore. I think whatever is for me will be for me. I think that anything on this earth that I want, I can have. That's just my thinking currently. So we submitted all the documents and then we got the pre-approval. So the pre-approval came back and I'm like, okay. So basically we were pre-approved and it was all good because the pre-approval was within the range that we were looking for. So I'm like, all right, boom. Now we got the pre-approval. Let me get back to Christina because Christina also got the same email that we got, letting her know what we were pre-approved for. So I believe it was right before my son's birthday, right before his first birthday, actually. We began looking for homes, maybe March 11th or March 12th. We began looking for homes. It was still kind of cold outside. I was like, I hate being cold. And I'm like, do we really got to be looking for homes? It's mad cold. Like, can we wait a little bit? And Raul is like, no, we started this process. We got to go look. So we began looking, and we began looking in Suffolk County, Long Island. So we seen 2 homes that we really, really, really loved. Really loved these homes. And the only thing is the distance. It was just too far. And for Raul to have to, get to where he works in Maspeth, Queens, it was too much of a commute. It would be too much of a commute, especially during the holiday season. It would just kill him, honestly. So we're just like, okay. And then also Raul, he is his mom's only son. So, and his parents are a bit older in age. So he kind of needed to be available in case if they needed anything, if something were to happen, he needed to be able to get to them quickly. And they were at least maybe an hour, 15 minutes away from both the homes that we really loved. So we then, that night, we seen those homes and we were like, okay. That night we went home and we were talking and, he explained, what his feelings were. And I was like, okay, in all fairness, I understand that you need to be close to your parents. So perhaps maybe we should look in Queens. But we can also look in Long Island, places that are not so far out. So we did see a couple of houses in, well, we saw one in Uniondale and we saw another one in Baldwin. Was it Baldwin? Can't remember, but we see another one. We really liked the one in Uniondale. The one in Uniondale was only like 20 minutes from his family. So we did really like that one. It wasn't my ideal home, but we really did like it. It was just like a one level. All of our rooms were on the first level. They had a big living room, a big kitchen, and then a downstairs basement. I prefer to have the bedrooms on upstairs, but I'm like, okay, this is close to your parents, whatever. It'll do for now, because we agreed that whatever home that we got, it would be a starter home and that we would eventually buy our forever home. Okay, so we put an offer in. We were excited about it. Boom, we get the call from Christina, like, oh, the sellers decided to go with someone else. I believe this person was a cash buyer, and they paid well above asking. So we were like, fuck, like, okay, whatever. So once again, we go home and we're chopping it up and we're talking, and he's like, babe, let's look in Queens. So I'm like, all right. I immediately get on Zillow and I'm like, all right. I saw some houses that I really liked. And then I hit up Christina. I sent the houses to Christina because we were working together like that. Like, she would send me stuff. I would send her stuff, let her know if I liked it, or, I just was sending her stuff back. We were sending stuff back and forth to each other. And I saw this house that we're currently in St. Albans, Queens. And it's 5 minutes from where I grew up. So I'm like literally 5 minutes from my aunt. And I'm like literally like 8 minutes from Roll's parents. Perfect. Prime location. So, okay, we come here and I'm like, my home is an attached home. So all the houses on this block are attached. So I'm like, okay. I pull up with my homegirl. My homegirl came with me this time because Roll was at work, so he couldn't come with me. So my homegirl came with me. I pull up and immediately I'm like, fuck. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want an attached home. My kids deserve a backyard. I'm not going to do it. So we come into the house and I'm looking around and I'm like, this is it. I talk so much crap and I'm like, this is it. I knew the house was on the market for a couple of months. People aren't really big fans of attached houses, and I get it. So, but the inside is exactly what I wanted. It was exactly what I was looking for. So I'm like, we gonna do this. Like, we're gonna get this house. Like, I looked around. I was like thinking about it. The guy who sold us the house, he was like, if you want it, it's yours. But once again, I'm used to people saying stuff and not really meaning it. So I'm like, well, whatever, he's talking shit. He just wants to get this house sold, whatever. So literally, I called Roll. I get back in my car. I call Roll and I'm like, I really want this house. And he's like, okay, if you want it, let's go for it. Let's put an offer in. Let's go. Let's see what happens. I'll look at it later. Because I had took some pictures and some videos and I did send to him. But, he hadn't actually seen it in person. So he's like, babe, if you want it, let's go for it. So I called my realtor and I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's put an offer in on this one. Immediately, she gets back to the seller and lets him know that, my clients, they want this house. They want to move forward. Literally, my house in St. Albans is about 25 to 30 minutes going back to Far Rockaway. And before I could even pull into my parking spot where I lived, they were calling me back like, offer accepted. It was like, I don't know, I was just so happy because imagine me coming from the shelter, me coming from a crazy past, and we were able to go ahead, get a house in this in this area that's convenient for both of us. it was just like literally a dream come true. And I was just like, yeah, like we did that, like that we did. So, all right. So immediately she's like, my realtor, she's like, you got to send a down deposit. Well, you got to send a down deposit to like their lawyers, the buyer's lawyers and stuff like that. So that was like about 16,000. We have to like off the rip, we had to pay that as a deposit. I guess that just shows like good faith that you're going to move forward with buying the house. So we had to do the down payment. We did opt to go with the 3.5 down because we at the time we did not have 20% to put down. 3.5%, we were eligible to be able to put that down as first time homeowners because neither one of us have owned a home. So we was able to put down, but if you have the 20% to put down, you put down the 20% and 20% of the cost of the home, which allows you to erase the private mortgage insurance. All right. So it's that. Then also we had to have the lawyer fees ready. That was like, I believe it was like $1,500. You have to pay for your appraisal. I believe that was $550. And then you also had to, when you close on your home, you also had to bring 4 to 6%. We did have to bring 6%. So in total, we put down maybe like $52,000 between the down payment, the closing costs, and the other little miscellaneous fees. I'm not including that in the 50 something thousand, but that's just money that we had to have off the rip. So yeah, we've been here since May of 2021. It's a process. We're still learning. We're still figuring things out. We're also still purchasing things. We're in the process of getting our basement renovated. So it's a lot. It's been a lot, but I wouldn't trade it. I feel good about being a homeowner. I know this is a quick way to gain generational wealth for your family. So I feel good about my decision. There's no regrets. I just want to say to anyone that's looking to buy a home, you definitely can do it. Don't let fear and doubt stop you. Get your finances in order, get your money together, pay down your debt if you can, or try to pay down as much of it as you can, and do it. And it could be done, and it's like one of the greatest feelings. So that's it. It took us a pretty short time. So I think we from the time we started looking at homes to the time we actually found this home was about 12 days. But I was aggressively meeting up with Christina like every day, or at least every other day. We was meeting up, looking, trying to see what would work, what would fit. So, I mean, it's not going to take 12 days for everybody. But for us, it did take 12 days. And we were kind of like in a rush because we also didn't want to sign another year lease at our apartment. So we did it in 12 days. Not to say it's going to take 12 days for everyone, but we did it in 12 days. And I was like extremely happy about it. So that's it. That's all I got for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.